Hello everyone, back tuning into today's video. We're going to have a look at the JMA model today for the next 3 months. It goes from October to December. I did a quick update about it on the blog last night, but have a more detailed look for today's video. We'll also have a look at the weather for today and on Wednesday as well. Looks like there's going to be some quite heavy rain on Wednesday, probably wet and windy day. So quite a bit going on. But before I go on with that, just very quickly to say about the ads. There's links to articles on all of the pages at gazservice.com. You can browse widgets, any articles that you're interested in, please click through. You'll be able to go and read that article, and because you're going from Gazservice to where that article is, give a review fee on what you're doing, and thanks very much for doing that. So just starting off with the radar picture, really showery day across many parts of the country. This is a radar picture from the weatheroutlook.com. You can find a link to Weather Outlook on the links page. Some persistent rain across Ireland and southwestern parts of England. That will probably spread eastwards through this evening and overnight tonight, affecting central southern parts of the country. But at the moment, we've got these big showers. We see some vibrant colours in there with those showers. And I think some of them could be producing some lightning as well. So we can have a look at the lightning detector device from the Weather Outlook to see where the lightning is, if there is any. Where we've got these vibrant colours, that's where we've got some torrential rain. If you just have a look at the lightning detector, we can see we've got quite a few storms actually there across central parts of England, particularly through the Midlands just at the moment. I think there could be more developing through the course of this afternoon. They are quite well scattered, so you probably won't necessarily get thunderstorm in any one place, but don't be surprised if you hear a rumble of thunder at any point really through the course of the afternoon. It's going to be one of those afternoons where there'll be cloud and showers coming and going, and any of them could produce a flash of lightning or some thunder as well. Now in these heavier downpours there could be flash flooding and surface spray on the road, so if you're off out and about driving this afternoon or this evening, you will need to take care if you come across one of these big showers. Now for Wednesday, the concern is with this area of low pressure coming out of the Bay of Biscay and pushing northwards into the country. That has the remains of Tropical Storm Henri within it, and that's going to be giving us a very wet and windy day on Wednesday. So that low pressure pushes northwards through the country during the course of Wednesday itself. Strongest winds are around the edge of the low pressure, so that would be for northern England, down the Irish Sea, and then coming back through the Channel as well. And there could be winds up to gale force there. And certainly there could be some gale force gusts across the far southwest of the country, even later on this afternoon and into tonight. But don't get through to Thursday, that low pressure is clearing away into the North Sea, and that will leave us with a pretty chilly northerly wind. So quite a lot of heavy rain coming up on Wednesday. Precipitation forecast for 6 o'clock in the morning. Thoroughly wet across the south and southeast already at that point. And the rain just gets more widespread through the course of the day. Could be some torrential and persistent rain across parts of the country. And when it clears to the south, we could generate some big showers, some really big thundery showers or thunderstorms could be set off in the far south and southeast as the more persistent rain sort of clears through. It will be a thoroughly cold day under the persistent rain. These are the temperatures, just 11, 12 degrees at best across parts of Wales and northern England on Wednesday afternoon. It does turn a bit warmer to the south as the sun comes out. We're under relatively warm air actually, because it's a tropical sort of air mass originating from that tropical storm. So when the sun comes out as the rain clears, it will turn quite warm in the south-southeast, but that's what's generating the potential for those big showers. So really quite an interesting day coming up on Wednesday. Now that's the 3-monthly update from the JMA, as I said at the start of the video, so I'll have a quick look at that before I go. Running a bit late this afternoon, so just want to quickly run through these. For October, we begin in October. This is for October through to December, so taking us through to the end of the year. October looks like this, with below average height sitting to the west of the country, quite a deep trough. The jet stream is running through the country like that, so that's an unsettled one. There'd be above average rainfall, I think, that particularly to the north and west, but all places would get bands of rain coming through. It's a westerly type month, which would normally give us near normal temperatures in October. But because we've got this body of cold water, I've spoken about it quite a lot, the Atlantic is in quite a cold phase at the moment. Because we've got all this cold water in just to the west of us, a westerly wind is going to be a bit cooler than you would expect. So this could be either average temperatures or maybe even a little bit cooler than average. We'll have a look at the temperature, precipitation anomalies that go with this in a moment. Let's go through to November. The trough, if anything, deepens. So really deep trough there in the Atlantic for November. Again, very westerly. We'll be bringing strong westerlies through. A strong jet stream as well. Wouldn't be at all surprised if there was gales in with that, sort of Atlantic storms driving in bouts of rain. And again, because we've got these cold sea surface temperature anomalies in the Atlantic, the westerlies could be a little bit colder than typically would be expected in a normal westerly month. A westerly November would probably tend to be a little bit warmer than average. But again, because we've got this cold water, that will moderate things a little bit probably. And we could come away with a cool month, and maybe even the chance of some wintry potential, particularly up in the north as these bands of rain clear through. Cold fronts, of course, they could introduce something a bit wintry to the north of the country, perhaps. And then we go through to December. This is a very long way off, 3 months away. So really just for fun, but we might as well look at the chart because it is there, and it's suggesting that things could go a bit colder for December. That trough of low pressure is becoming more centred over Scandinavia at that point. Pressure is rising in the central part of the Atlantic to the south of Greenland. What this would do is send the flow sort of to a northwesterly, or perhaps at times even northerly type direction through the course of December. Now, I don't think this is a classically cold month, because if you see where the blocking is, it's not really centred over the top of the pole. To get a classic cold winter month, you really need the high pressure to be right in over the top of the North Pole. We've not got that. It's further south through the central part of the Atlantic, south of Greenland, in this sort of area. So probably not a classically cold month, but I think that would be enough to produce certainly a seasonably chilly start to the winter, and no doubt there will be some wintry potential in with that as well if it did come off as the model is showing. And of course, as we progress beyond that into January, February, it's quite possible that these above average heights through the central Atlantic could start to migrate their way up to the top of the pole, but I haven't better say any more about that. Just have a very quick look at the temperature and precipitation anomalies that go with these charts. So for October, again, reminder, we've got the deep trough in the Atlantic for October, so it is a westerly month with a jet stream coming right through the country like that. Incidentally, the British Isles is in the very, very far top right-hand corner of the chart as you're looking at it, as we always are on these long-range charts. So the temperature anomaly, as I indicated, it's coming out cooler than average. Now, in a westerly October, you would normally expect temperature anomalies to be around average. So a bit cooler than average, again, it's probably indicative of the cold pool of sea surface temperature anomalies that we've got in the Atlantic at the moment. The wind arrows, you probably can't make them out all that well, but they are coming from a westerly source, so it just backs up the idea that it is a really westerly month in October. And the rainfall anomaly is coming out wetter than average in those blue colours. So unsurprisingly, with strong westerlies bringing bouts of rain in off the Atlantic, we're looking at quite a wet month for October. We go through to November, and a very unsettled month being indicated for November with that trough of low pressure deepening like mad through the northern part of the Atlantic Ocean. The temperature anomaly is a little bit below average in the north and west, and maybe it could be ever slightly above average for the east. As I say, in November, a westerly month would normally give us warmer than average temperatures, a milder than average month with a lack of frost and that type of thing in November. So still hinting at being a bit cooler for the north and west, but moderated just by the strength of the westerlies, really. But there could be some chilly air coming through with the Atlantic in a fairly cold phase. The wind arrows again are in from the westerly direction. Probably can't make it out all that well because of the colours, but the arrows are pointing from the west. So westerly October and November is indicated, and another wetter than average month. So looks like we're going to be in for a bit of a deluge, to be honest, through this autumn. And then finally going through to December, and that's when we start to shift the trough off to the east. So it's going up here. You can't really see Scandinavia, but Scandinavia is up there somewhere. That's where the trough's going, and we've got this ridge developing through the central part of the Atlantic, sending things more to a northwesterly, southeasterly type trajectory. The temperature anomaly then for December is going colder than average. It's not a classically cold month, I have to emphasise that. I don't think we're looking at sort of a December to remember like we had in 2010. Just a bit cooler than average with some wintry potential, but probably not a severe month. The wind arrows, again, very difficult to make them out, but they are trending more towards the north-west, possibly even the north at times. And in terms of the rainfall, we're going with wetter than average conditions actually for the rainfall. So above average precipitation. Of course, in a cooler than average month with above average precipitation in December, some of that would undoubtedly be wintry. I hadn't better say any more about that because it's a long way off, but if it came off, there would be potential for some of the white stuff for the start of winter. So it would be a very interesting start to winter if it came off, albeit we're not talking about a December 2010 on that setup. So next 3 months looking quite interesting. December could be a bit cold, wintry, perhaps more reliably before that. October and November looking pretty wet, so I think we could be in for quite a deluge this autumn. And shorter range, well, it's unsettled even for the coming week, so we've got these big showers today, and then wet and windy weather on Wednesday. That's it for now then. Hope you enjoyed the video, and thanks for watching.